guys, it's coffee time. I just sound so pretty right now. So mentally, I'm doing so much better. I feel great. I feel very positive and happy. Physically, I'm definitely coming down with something. I spent all of today feeling vaguely sick, not full-on sick. Last night I had kind of a sore throat while I was at Super Arcade. I wound up going to Super Arcade for the first time. I've only ever watched the Wednesday Night Fight streams, and I was asked by Trisha if I wanted to go, so I wound up going with Trisha in day 9. And the three of us just kind of like hung out. Trisha knows like everybody there. Like everybody there she was hugging, and I was like, this is awesome. And I watched a bunch of people play Beat Mania, and now I really want to figure out how to play Beat Mania because you just look like a baller when you're playing that game if you're good at it. And I played a little bit of Super Puzzle Fighter. But that game, the arcade version of that game, the arcade version of that game is obnoxious because there's no hard drop. I'm so used to there being a hard drop, so I was like, what? I had to get used to like the joystick, and also because the cabinet, because the screens on cabinets like fishbowl out a little bit, like you have to adjust your eyes to where you're actually dropping things, so I misplace things constantly. And Day 9 has the cheesiest style. The way he plays that game infuriates me. Trisha was like, go beat him, beat him, beat him, beat him, and I was like, I'm trying! I finally beat him. He was like, you know, if you just used my tactic, you'd probably win more. And I was like, no, I refuse to adopt this super cheese style because it makes me so angry and there has to be a legitimate way to beat it. And I finally beat it and I felt great. So it all worked out. I really wanted to play against Trisha too, but she got distracted by a bunch of things. Trisha always brings so many snacks. Everything I've ever done with Trisha, she's like, here, have millions of foods. And I'm like, Trisha's the best. But anyway, the point the point of me mentioning that was that last night my throat was feeling sore and I could never tell if it's because I've been yelling a lot. Like playing They Bleed Pixels has been bringing out the rage monster in me quite a bit. So I was like, well, maybe it's because I've been yelling a lot while playing games. But no, when I woke up this morning, like, I was all, like, phlegmy and my body was all achy and I still had the sore throat, but it's not to the point where I'm, like, sick yet, right? So I'm just waiting for it to happen. I've been drinking so much water. This is the first amount of coffee that I've had today. So, and that's gonna be it. I'm not drinking any more coffee after this. But I was really productive today. Jeannie was asking if I took Excedrin for my body aches because I was like, I got really productive even though I don't feel good. And I guess Excedrin has like caffeine in it, so sometimes people will take a lot of Excedrin to combat any sort of pain and then suddenly they'll get really productive or they'll really want to like do things. I didn't take Excedrin though, I just took regular ibuprofen, but I don't know what it was. I was just like sitting here and then I was like, you know, I keep telling them because this hair color is awesome and like so vibrant and I love it, but it bleeds worse than any other vegetable color that I've ever used. So our shower for a while now has had like this weird pink hue to it. When you walk in there you're like, so I told them I promise that I will clean the bathroom. I promise, because there are like little like dye droplets all over the place and that is totally my bad, obviously. So I was like, don't worry, I'll clean the shower, I'll clean the toilet, I'll clean the entire bathroom, I promise. And this was the day that I dyed my hair. So today I was like, you know, I still haven't done that. I really should. I was gonna wait until my hair stopped bleeding, but it's still bleeding now. Not as bad, but it's still doing it. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna clean it. And then the little amount that it bleeds now, I'll just leave the water, when I get out of the shower, I'll just leave the water running a bit so that it gets all of that like weird dye water down the drain. But, so I cleaned it, I felt awesome, and then I went to the fridge and saw that we had a bunch of like different salad dressings and things that were way out of date, so I threw a bunch of stuff out of the fridge. I don't know, I just got like weird productive. It was great, and I put together like 3 more bags of things that I'm giving to Goodwill. took a bunch of trash out. And then I was like, I feel pretty good about myself. And then I played They Bleed Pixels, and then I suddenly didn't feel good about myself at all. I was like, oh, I'm the worst gamer in the world. And then I got dinner and I felt a little bit better. But guys, that game is so unforgiving. It's so hard. I know, here's the thing. The part that I'm at right now is so doable. It's so doable. But the way that they make it rough is there's rarely a spot for you to place a checkpoint. So you have these large expanses, and I'm like insisting on getting all of the pages, these little like extra bonus points. So you do these long strips of just like spikes everywhere and these obnoxious ghosty thingies following you around, and you're just like, oh, be careful, be careful, be careful, be careful. And then you'll slip up once. That's all that has to happen before you're just like falling forever, and then you're on a spike and you're just like, you have to go back and do it all over again. It's so frustrating. So like this video, I'm rendering it right now. This video that I'm rendering is literally not even the entire chapter. It's up to a point where I got so frustrated that I just left. I was like, I can't do this, I can't do this. It was already 20 minutes of footage, so I was like, I'm done. I'm done. Oh. I'm talking way too excitedly because I can feel my throat being like, shh, shh, it's okay. My mom gets back tonight, back to Oregon from the Bay. So I'm hopefully gonna get to talk to her tonight. I miss talking to her. I haven't called my dad since all this stuff went down. I really should. I don't know why it hasn't occurred to me. I've been so focused on my mom. But yeah, and I'm sorry that I've been so sporadic this week with coffees, but last night it was kind of like, well, I really want to get out of the house. I want something to distract me. Even though I'm feeling okay, like, I'd like to go do something. And I was invited to Super Arcade, and I was like, oh, but I haven't made a coffee time yet. And I thought, you know, I think they'll forgive me. I think they'll forgive me for going to Super Arcade and not putting up a video on accident. So, yeah, that's everything that really went on with me today. Just raging so hard at that game, but I did so many productive things that I feel okay about it. And now I think I'm probably gonna go maybe play some TF2. I love TF2 so much. I've been really falling in love with Pyro. It's just so satisfying to like hit and run, just like run in there and light everybody on fire and run away and still hear the dings, and you're just like, yeah, you burn, all of you burn. I love it. I love it. I think the only class that I just like cannot figure out at all is Soldier. Soldier escapes me. Like, I cannot figure it out. But I don't really have a desire to figure it out either. So I guess in the end, it's okay. But anywho, I'm gonna go. I hope that you guys had a good day, and is this Thursday? Yes. I hope you had a good Thursday, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye-bye. Mwah.